In our last episode, we looked at the mini farm project and how it takes underutilized spaces and turns them into working farms using volunteers to grow food for those in need. The Camp Hill site was really a prototype model for the Brisbane-based charity. It started on the kindness of strangers, a land lease agreement from Timbertods Childcare Adjacent, and sponsorships from Wine and Dine Catering. Now it hosts all types of characters that continue to contribute to this space. And one of those characters is Britta.
Started volunteering here at Mini Farm late last year. First time I came along, we harvested 150 kilos of potatoes. I thought, oh my goodness, if this is just a regular Saturday. I was like on a high for the weekend. Yeah, and every Saturday's a bit different what we do, but I love it. It's like kind of therapy after a busy week.
And Britta's not the only one. Over the last 12 months, Mini Farm has seen 347 volunteers come through the gates, and those volunteers help produce 2,700 kilograms of produce for those in need.
I don't think there's necessarily one experience of coming to Mini Farm as a volunteer, which is kind of neat, right? Like, we're all coming here for different reasons. We're all connecting to the space at different levels, and I think there's something beautiful about that, in that not only is this providing a bit of an opportunity and a solution to a current ecological and food crisis in southeast Queensland and Brisbane, but in addition it's providing, I think, a solution to more social issues that we have in our community, and that is disconnection from each other, disconnection from place, from soil, from plants and growing food.
And that connection might be something that we take for granted. When was the last time you had a hand in growing something that you ate?
In our current food system, we don't have that level of connection. We're not able to pick up a cauliflower and see or understand the person who grew this and where it came from and how long it was in transport before it got to sit on the shelf. Whereas here, we're intimately connected with what the weather's doing to our crop. What happens when something doesn't germinate? Was it too dry? Was it too heavily mulched? We get to be involved and interact with the process of growing food in ways that we are not in industrial agriculture, in our current food system. We arrive at a shop and we see things that all look the same: perfect apples, perfect cauliflowers. Where have they come from? How long did it take for them to get here? Were they frozen? Who grew them? What was sprayed on them? There's all these questions that are left unanswered. And so that's disconnection for me. That to me is part of the broader issue around our food system. And that's for people who can afford and access food, right? We haven't even touched on the inequitable access, the unaffordability of safe, healthy food.
The primary goal for Mini Farm is to provide healthy and nutritious food. But in the process, we're seeing a lot of flow-on effects, many of which we're only beginning to understand. In our next episode, we're going to be heading to the Community Action Centre in Caboolture, where all the produce is donated, and checking out some of the new sites Nick is planning on developing.